Hey guys, I'm Nicole Frolick, and today I want to talk to you guys about why you want to be drinking distilled water during this whole coronavirus epidemic, okay, or I should say pandemic. Full disclosure, I've been drinking distilled water for over a year. It's my only real water source that I drink, and I love it. I am going to go into the myths around distilled water because I know there's a lot of fear porn. There's a lot of information out there that's telling you distilled water is bad for you, and I'm going to tell you why it's false. And then I'm also going to give you the reasons why it's going to be helpful for you to be drinking at this time, not just in boosting your own immunity, but for fighting off the virus, okay? I'm not saying this is a cure by any means, but you want all the help you can get. You want to make yourself as strong as possible, as resistant as possible to this virus. Distilled water is definitely something you want to have in your arsenal, okay? So let's talk about what are the main factors that make a cell, okay, because we're going to go down to the level of biology here, okay? And it's not going to get too sciencey here, but I want to talk about the cells. And it's important to understand that there are two factors that make you more susceptible to taking on a virus than not. And those two factors are the water quality within your cell and the amount of metals in your body, okay? Now, I'm not going to really get into the latter, the metals in your body. That's a whole nother topic. I'm just going to focus mostly on the water quality in your cells. And so understand that if the quality of water in your cells can make you more susceptible to a virus or not, then you really want to be concentrating on what kind of water you're intaking. Now, the cells, it's important to also understand what exactly is a virus. And a lot of people don't really understand the organic form of a virus, okay? I know there is talk out there about corona being, or COVID-19 being a bioweapon. I'm not saying it's not. This isn't the video where I'm going to get into any of that, okay? I just want to talk about it from the very plain level. Let's just get into the facts of what we know is true, okay? I don't want to get into anything else. And so a virus is a very naturally occurring phenomenon. When your cells get overtaxed by toxins, basically when your cells get poisoned, they take on a huge overload of toxins, then what happens is the cell releases and excretes a virus, what is that? It's basically just toxic excretions. So if a virus is simply just toxic excretions because a cell has been so poisoned, then this is how we actually contract viruses. It's not so much about you were around someone and you contracted it. It's more of the fact that your cell was over poisoned, okay? And this can happen through a host of different, like a variety of different ways. It can be from the food you eat. It can be from the drinks you drink. It can be from the air you breathe. It can be from the radio frequencies out there, okay? You're talking about your Wi-Fi, your 5G, which is a whole other topic in and of itself, and it's totally related to this, but I'm not gonna get into it in this video. All of these things, your cell phone being around you, these frequencies do not contribute to a healthy immune system, okay? And it's been documented, we've seen it in science. Your immune system gets suppressed by all of this stuff. So this all contributes to a toxic overload on your cells. When your cell gets overly toxic, it then excretes the toxics in the form of a virus. And this is how people can get sick. Now, understanding how water comes into play. If the quality of water within your cells is one of the #1 factors of you contracting a virus, okay? And when I say that, it's meaning your body falls ill to it. It can't fight it off, okay? Because remember, I can be sitting beside Joe Smith here. We can be breathing in the same air. We can be taking in the same kind of toxins. But if my immune system is stronger than Joe's, guess who's going to get the virus? Guess who's going to get like maybe the flu and I'm not, okay? It all depends on your immune system and the health of your own body's frequency. So let's bring in distilled water into the conversation here, okay? And why you want to be drinking it and why it should be your drink of choice at this time. Distilled water is super clean. When water gets distilled, it kills off every bacteria, it kills off every virus, it kills off everything, parasite, it's clean. So if you're worried about your source of water and wondering if like there are water bottle companies that aren't exactly on the up and up with what kind of water they're putting in there, if you really are concerned about what you're drinking, what you're putting into your body, distilled water is one of the best choices that you can make, the best sources of water for your body. However, there's a lot of misinformation out there that makes people really scared about drinking distilled water. And so I want to talk about two of the myths around distilled water and why it's bad for you, which it really isn't. And I just want to say, can we just take a moment to like drop into common sense here? We're talking about water, okay? We're talking about water. Why are we scared of water that's clean? Okay. So I'm just putting that out there for a second. But the first thing that really comes up is like, but Nicole, like there's no minerals in distilled water. How am I supposed to get my minerals? And I have to tell you, I have really good friends of mine who drink distilled water, same as I do. And they had an intuitive friend who told one of them that he needed minerals in his body and that he should be drinking something other than just distilled. He should be drinking spring water as well. And I knew instantly, I'm like, what a load of shit. Okay, and I'm sorry for the language, but I'm just gonna be myself right now. And that is a load of crock. Like, because you don't get your minerals from your water, people, you don't. You get your minerals from food, from plant life, okay? That is where you get your minerals. When we think about when you think about like green juices or taking like green supplements, there's a reason why. It's because they're super loaded in minerals. Your minerals come from your vegetables, okay? And potentially if you're eating meat from meat sources that have fed on like grass and things like this. So the reason being is the reason why, even if you're drinking mineral water or anything, the reason why it doesn't matter is because it's all inorganic. It's in rock form, basically. The only way your body can absorb minerals if it's in organic form. And minerals in water is not in organic form. It's inorganic. And the reason why we get our minerals from vegetables is because through the photosynthesis process, okay, the plants absorb the minerals through the soil and the water, and through the photosynthesis process, it converts all of those inorganic minerals into organic absorbable minerals that you can now use in your body. So when someone tells you that it's empty water and that it's got no minerals in there, just remember that point, okay? So then the second point is that people are like, oh, but if I drink mineral water, it's gonna pull all of the minerals out of my body, you know, I'm gonna maybe get osteoporosis, it's gonna pull the calcium out of my bones. And no, people, no. That's not how it works. Distilled water, again, its whole purpose is to go in there and it pulls out inorganic toxic materials, okay? Organic minerals are not toxic. Remember, the whole purpose of why we drink water is so that it can carry the minerals that are now in our body that we've now consumed through our food, carry it into the cells so the cells can now use it as like energy, okay? Use them. And then once the cell excretes what it doesn't need, toxins, water pulls the toxins and it flushes it out of our body through our kidneys, okay? That's what water does. And distilled water is the best one to do that. Out of all the water, alkaline, mineral, spring, whatever you want to call it, it's the best carrier for that, okay? Distilled water has a very neutral frequency. Distilled water can work with your own frequency, so it doesn't matter who you are, where you're at, it works with your body. And that's why it's so good to be drinking. So it'll work with what you need removed from your body versus not. And that's the difference between distilled water and not. Because it's in a neutral frequency, it'll work with your own body's frequency and then pull stuff out accordingly and flush it out while keeping all still the good stuff intact. You don't have to worry about bone loss. You're good, okay? So remember too, if distilled water is pulling out inorganic material, pulling out toxins, let's go back to the beginning, okay? Let's take this all full circle. What is a virus? A virus is the excretions of toxic shit coming out of an overly poisoned cell, okay? That's what it is. So very important to understand this, very important. Just kind of wanted to make this video because we're in some crazy times. There's a lot of misinformation out there, and I know I'm gonna get the distilled water trolls telling me that I'm wrong, and I'm okay with that because I know the truth. I've been doing the research, and it's very, I've been drinking it for over a year, and my health has been so good, and I love it, okay? I love drinking distilled water. So, give yourself a leg up. If you're in a war, okay, against a virus, and you want to make sure that your armor is as strong as possible, and you know that of the two factors that make you susceptible to taking on a virus, that one of those factors is the quality of water in your cells, don't you want to be drinking the best water possible? And don't you want to stay as hydrated as possible so you can keep flushing the stuff out? Listen, there are a ton of things that you can do, okay, to boost your health. There are a ton of things you can do. I'm just giving you guys a video on one of the basic fundamentals, water. We're 70% water. Not only that, okay, let's just take this one step further, okay? Water is a huge conductor of electricity. And if your frequency, knowing that all energy carries a frequency, all matter is energy, it's made up of energy, and it carries a frequency, the more hydrated you are and the cleaner that the water you ingest will help boost that water intake. Not only that, for all of you out there who I know, like I've got a pretty spiritual channel here, but distilled water also helps decalcify your pineal gland, okay? And we're in a huge awakening right now, a huge awakening. People are now home. They have time to really pay attention to what the news is feeding us. They have a lot of time to get rested. Remember, this whole matrix system is designed to keep you fatigued, to keep you overworked, and to give you no time to research and fact check on all of the stuff that's being pummeled at you through the media, whether it's true or not. And you're forced to believe that because there's an authoritative force or authoritative figure, okay, on the news, sitting behind a brand name telling you information, that it must be true. And for the majority of you watching my channel, I know you know it's not. I know you're very much aware of the propaganda. We have been able to prove over and over again the lies that are fed to us through the news. The great thing about drinking distilled water is it decalcifies the pineal gland, which is that tiny gland in the middle of your brain that awakens you, that totally pulls you out of like a fog, okay? It keeps you connected to everything, whether it's God, consciousness, whatever it is that your source, your higher power is, okay? It keeps you connected to that and to everything, and to know that you are the sovereign being who ultimately has access to the truth at all times whenever you want it. And so drinking distilled water is a great way to help decalcify that little pineal gland, okay, that has been calcified by a lot of stuff in our water, fluoride in particular, And now begins the awakening process. So that's why another thing that I love to drink distilled water is it's a soft detox, okay? It helps to detox the entire body, including that pineal gland, on a daily basis. So that's my information for you guys. I hope it's helpful. You know, please help share my videos. I'm being massively suppressed on YouTube. They're not doing me any favors right now. I've watched my viewer count go down the tube since I basically posted the Zach Voorhees video, which is, he's the Google whistleblower, and I literally can point it to that date, and then everything just kind of drops. So, and I don't have any regrets about that. I'm all about finding out the truth, okay? So anyways, guys, I love you so much. If you need any more information about me, head on over to my website, inflexibleme.com. I have a newsletter there. Sign up to it because I will be sending out more details on when I do live events, because YouTube's suppressing that. Also other events that I've got going on. If you guys are interested, I have a monthly subscription program called Alchemy. If you're interested in your own personal journey and development and understanding more about who you are, becoming the higher version of yourself, it's available to everyone. There's a whole library of information in there that you can access. It's just $11 a month. There's guided meditations and tons of information in there. Also, don't forget to check out my podcast, Enlighten Up. It comes out every Thursday. And guys, if you want to reach out to me, just check out any information in the description box below. My email, everything's down there. I love you so much. Have a wonderful week, and I'll be back with you all really soon.